Coming up, terror strikes the Custard world, but who is responsible? And the kidnapper with unusual motives. Is he crazy? We think so. This is OTT News. News. This week's top story. A lorry driver was forced to run for his life after his cargo, 60,000 tins of custard and rice pudding, began to explode violently. Dairy correspondent Tom Bingle has this report, which contains scenes that some viewers may find distressing.
This week, the custard world was left in a sweet-smelling heap of despair. A brutal attack on a lorry travelling through Devon sent thousands of tins of custard up in balls of flames. The lorry was soon identified as belonging to Bird's Custard, which prompted initial belief that the attack may have come from inside the custard world. And yesterday these suspicions were confirmed as rival producer Ambrosia claimed responsibility for the attack. Their motives, it seems, are obvious. Bird's Custard is primarily corn flour based, useful as it allows birds to produce the instant custard. As the top manufacturers of instant custard in the UK, Birds have a monopoly over available corn flour, by the looks of things Ambrosia wants in. So they ambushed a lorry carrying the custard, although it is currently unclear whether it was in ready-made or instant form. I'm outside an Ambrosia factory here in Devon, and I am still unable to get any information out of the staff here about their new status as custard terrorists. Not exactly a sign of being innocent in Tom Bingle's opinion. However, we must not forget that the rice pudding world suffered such a lot.
Well, it seems we've lost contact with Tom Bingle there, so hopefully we can re-establish contact soon. Elsewhere, in Australia, ginger people were... Actually, I'm just hearing got some breaking news from our reporter Jerry Benjamin in Hampshire. Jerry, what's the situation?
Well, Jeff, there's extraordinary scenes here in Hampshire. The fire services are being deployed to this tree, which is seemingly integral to this story and how it might unfold. At this moment in time, there's currently a fireman ascending the ladder, and it is believed that there is something or someone trapped high in the tree. Excuse me, sir, but do you have any ideas as to what might be stuck high in that tree?
Well, that guy over there said it's an iguana.
An iguana?
Yeah.
An iguana! Would you believe it? Of all places, here in Hampshire, an iguana stuck in a tree! Jerry Benjamin reporting live from Hampshire with an iguana. Back to you. Oh.
Thanks for that, Jerry. We'll return to Jerry Benjamin later if there's any more updates. Right. Elsewhere, news from Germany this week of an investment banker facing a kidnap charge after he fell head over heels in love. Footage of the kidnapping was released, taken from a webcam, and is now analysed by OTT News analyst Nick Rusko-Berger in this report.
The details of the case are as follows. The man in the balaclava is Tom Muller, a 36-year-old man. The hostage is a 30-year-old woman called Tonya Schultz. The webcam belonged to Miss Schultz. Okay, so the footage begins, and we can see a struggle as Muller, posing as the kidnapper, ties up Miss Schultz and covers her head with a bag. Here we see Mr. Muller supposedly ransacking the home of Miss Schultz while she remains tied up. He enters and leaves the room unlocked, taking items to make her believe they've been stolen. Tanya suddenly looks up towards the door, hearing the doorbell ring as she wonders what's going to happen to her. Suddenly, Mr. Muller rushes into the room, now unmasked and no longer posing as the kidnapper. He proceeds to remove the bag from Miss Schultz's head and unties her. As you can see, Miss Schultz is shaken, and Mr. Muller proceeds to tell his fabricated story of how he scared off the kidnappers. But how is Mr. Muller caught? Well, a closer look at the footage provides an extraordinary answer. Mr. Muller takes a wallet belonging to Tanya Schultz and pockets it. He then forgot to remove the wallet from his pocket when the police arrived. And the game, as they say, was up. I've been Nick Ruskoberger, and I've been analysing. Good day.
A very costly mistake there. Still no updates from Jerry Benjamin, so we've got time for the Wheel of Weather! This week's weather forecast is for Kiev, and the forecast for Kiev this week is penguin. Yes, it's penguin. If I were you and living in Kiev, I'd put an extra pair of socks on this week. That's it for this week's Wheel of Weather. We'll now go back to Jerry Benjamin in Hampshire. Jerry, has anything happened there?
Yes, hello Jeff, welcome back to Hampshire. I can confirm that the crisis is over, and it was some sort of an anticlimax, really.
Care to fill it in, Jerry? What was up there?
Well, the original suspicion that it was an iguana up there turned out to be false, you see. When the fireman reached the top, he merely found that it was a branch covered in algae that appeared to resemble an iguana. So, Jeff, I can inform you that it wasn't an iguana, but merely a branch that looked like one.